The federal government's Economic Recovery Growth Plan is developed to restore the economy by leveraging on the ingenuity and resilience of Nigerians. It is in line with this that the Minister of Information and Culture, Mohammed, emphasized the federal government's commitment to diversify the economy, and one sure way of getting it right is to patronize products manufactured locally.
This administration has, in the last 2 years, put in place measures that will ensure that never again will be held hostage by one single commodity. And of course, industrial growth, production, consuming what you eat and producing what you use is one single philosophy of this government.
The ease of doing business policy is another positive move by the federal government to encourage the provision of goods and services.
This government is determined to ensure that we move at least 20 steps, up the rank of the world global standard of doing business. We have, for instance, been able to achieve 31 major reforms across 8 major indicators in the area of doing business, starting from movement of passengers and goods to the time it takes you to register companies.
Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment said his ministry is determined to promote made-in-Nigeria goods as a deliberate way of changing the psyche of Nigerians from dependence on foreign goods and services.
The whole idea is that we're going to use our industrialization program to ensure that it is easier and cheaper and more attractive to produce the goods here. We have to obviously lead by example. We are working with all the ministries, departments and agencies of government to ensure that we buy more made locally.
We are highly determined to implement this media campaign aimed at changing the psyche of Nigerians from our dependence on foreign goods and services, reorienting us to value what is produced locally in order to develop a strong and vibrant industrial base.
It's not for pride, it's not for arrogance, but for pride in the Nigerian spirit. We are proud to have done it in Nigeria.
Records show that in 2015 alone, over 6.7 trillion naira was spent on importation of goods and services for which the country can produce locally. 1.9 trillion naira was spent on importing foods and drinks, 1.5 trillion on spare parts, 123.1 billion on shoes and clothes, and 399 billion on household items. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.